From your perspective on the ground, in the middle of everything insurance-wise, how much has the insurance landscape changed really in the last 3 to 5 years when it comes to natural disasters?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, Cleve, you kind of hit the nail on the head with the story. And I remember the great '09 weather where it seemed like all of Cobb and everything else was underwater for an extended period of time.
Yep.
And it was a big eye raiser here. And we've seen a great number of increases to these mass losses, catastrophic events that have happened across the nation. And it puts a big burden on the insurance companies. From a layout of manpower to man the claims, from the sheer volume of the claims that exist, to the obviously the dollar payout for the what we call the sticks and the bricks. So it does put a huge amount of pressure on them, and as they continue to rise, we see that impact all of us in our daily lives with our home insurance premiums, as it spread across the entire state that we may live in. So yeah, it's had a huge impact to us in the space, and continues to do so.
Does a homeowner know whether or not they need to have flood insurance? Because mostly they look at, hey, you're not in a high-risk flood zone, so you don't need flood insurance. I did not have flood insurance. All the repairs on my basement, were less than $10,000, and it was okay. We figured out how to make it all work and got stuff out of there real fast so it didn't get moldy and mildew and all that kind of stuff. But how does somebody know whether or not they need flood insurance?
Well, the easiest way that you know if it's required is through the FEMA maps, the flood maps that are drawn out by FEMA with a 100-year map. You can go out and do a Google search with your address of, am I in a flood zone? You can chat GTP. There's so many tools that a homeowner can go ask right now to see, even if they're not in a required flood zone, how close are they to that creek bed, that if we have that catastrophe and we take on dozens and dozens of inches of rain like Kerr County or like Georgia did in 2009,
Right.
they can go get coverage. FEMA offers coverage to everybody. So it is not if you're not required to have it, you can still go get optional coverage. And I would tell you that optional coverage for somebody who is in what they call Zone X, when you're in Zone X, it's not required to have it. You can get it still relatively cheap through FEMA to have that peace of mind and coverage.
And does somebody go directly to FEMA to get it, or do they call somebody like you and you go to FEMA to get it? How does it work?
Yeah, they'll go to their local carrier or to our office or a carrier who is a sub-producer for FEMA. No, we wouldn't make them go straight to FEMA. Then, if you have financing on your house, your mortgage company is going to mandate you carry flood insurance to protect their hundreds of thousands of dollars that they have on the line with your property. So if you have a mortgage on your house, if you're in a flood zone, your mortgage company is mandated you have to have it. And if you're not, then it is your choice about whether or not you want to carry it for your own personal preference or peace of mind.
What I'm hearing is if it says you're outside of the flood zone, you don't need it. But just because your lender says you don't need it or you think you don't need it doesn't mean you don't need it.
Yeah, absolutely correct. And it's going to be on a case-by-case basis. Like, what is your slope compared to where the creek bed or the body of water that you have the number one concern about?
Right.
What's your elevation above that point? That's always going to be key. Yeah, you're correct. Listen, you said you may be a little tough on the insurance companies. The lenders are only going to make you carry flood insurance if their money's at risk. If it's not at risk, they're not going to make you carry it. It's going to be of your option. So it's on each homeowner. Maybe look at the survey that they get from a seller or from a builder if they're buying new construction, and knowing what that elevation point is above the base flood zone, so they can make an educated decision about whether or not they want to carry optional coverage to protect their home.